Hi, everyone. This is Corey with MileSplit here with MileSplit Live. We're going to chat with our Illinois webmaster, Tony Jones, otherwise known as Illinois Prepster, about the state of Illinois right now in cross country. We're going to welcome in Tony Jones right now. How you doing,
Hey,
Tony?
hey, everybody. Tony Prepster here, Illinois Prepster here in the beautiful state of Illinois. How are you guys doing?
Not bad. So, Tony, a lot has happened so far in the cross country season, specifically in Illinois, both individually and team wise. We have some phenomenal performances so far. After a couple weeks, what has stood out to you most in Illinois?
Well, Corey, we're about 2 weeks into our season in Illinois. We turned this past weekend as the big weekend. We had a lot of action throughout the state. The two major ports were the Peoria Invitational, better known as the First to the Finish Invitational, where they actually run that meet just like the state championship, where they run it in classes. They start with Class 1A, girls and boys, all the way up to the 3A. We have three divisions here. As you might imagine, as each race went along, the times got faster and faster. And as you probably have seen, Danny Kilray, that's Kilray, that's exactly how you say it, from Lyons Township. He's a senior out there. He dropped a 14:02. I believe I was doing some research. That's probably the fastest regular season time in Illinois history. I'm almost certain that it is. That's pretty quick, and we're only in the second week of September.
Yeah, Danny Kilray specifically 14:02, like you mentioned, and Katelynne Hart 16:08, which she accomplished at uh,
Lake Park.
yeah, Lake Park. Those are two number one 3 mile times in the nation. Can you speak a little bit more to those performances? How crazy are they at this point in the season? It's just September, and there's many months left.
You know what? Let's start with Caitlin Hart, who's a sophomore at Glenbard West, the sophomore sensation. I was actually at that meet covering the meet, and I was with a friend of mine who came along to tag along to watch the meet, and we overheard a couple people, that were in the crowd were talking about, hey, let's place a wager. I bet you Caitlin drops a 16:20. I looked over at my friend. I said, that's possible, but I don't think that's going to happen today. Lo and behold, the race goes off. She's already 30 seconds up on the field through the first mile in about 5:15. And I looked over at my buddy and I said, hey, did your wife say 5:15 first mile? He goes, yep. And I said, oh, wow, she might get close to 16 minutes if she can hold this pace. And lo and behold, Corey, she went through in about 10:47, and it appeared through 2 miles, and it appeared as though she was just doing a hard tempo by herself because she didn't slow down and she didn't really pick it up. She just maintained. And the last 300 meters of the track at Lake Park High School is on the last 300 meters of the race, I should say, is on the track. So they enter the stadium and they run like 300 meters, like as if you're doing a 300-meter hurdles, and you finish on the a true finish line on the track. And she just basically just motored home, man. I couldn't believe I was speechless. Although I was narrating the finish, it was crazy.
And Danny Kilray, 14:02. He could very easily break 14 minutes this year, and 14:02 for that course at first to the finish is really impressive. What were your thoughts on that finish?
Yeah, with Danny, I did talk to him Saturday evening. I texted him. He texted me back, and I asked him what his splits were because I was thinking that maybe he went out like how Craig Virgin, by the way, holds the all-time record at Detweiler in Illinois, 13:50.6. Um, and when I talked with Craig, Craig told me he had went out like at 4:19 or something like that. And I was thinking like maybe Danny went out something similar to that. Danny told me he went out in 4:40, which is fast, but it's not super fast. And he ran basically even. He said he went 4:40, 4:41, 4:40 last mile. He said that the second half of the race he was by himself. So he was doing about 9:20, 9:21, and so he was just basically trying to just run even. And he's about a 4:11 miler, 9 flat 2 milers, as you guys remember this past track season. So he's more of a strength runner. He doesn't have great speed, but he has a great distance engine. Um, I don't. I kind of did joke with him though. I said, "Calm down, man. Don't use it all up before the end of the season." But he told me that he's going to take a few weeks off. He's going to run at Culver Military meet in Indiana against some of the top-notch teams over there in a couple of weeks, where Naperville Valley, by the way, is going to be. So he's going to just kind of just get back to some good training and just because his goals is basically at the end of the year for the postseason meet. So he's just running basically off of his just general training. Nothing, spectacular in terms of what an elite runner does.
How special of a year is this in Illinois right now? Danny Kilrea is number 3 in our national rankings. Dylan Jacobs of Sandburg High is number 5. We have Charlie Kern at 22. His team York is nationally ranked at 24, I believe, on the boys' rankings. Katelynne Hart is number 11 individually national rankings. We have so many Illinois athletes kind of ranked within the country. How special of a year is it in Illinois?
All right, let's start with the boys. We kind of predicted 2017 cross country about 2 years ago would be really good. Even though, like I said earlier, we're only 2 weeks into the season, we've already seen some outstanding performances. And you had mentioned York earlier. Guess what? York opens up their actual A team this weekend at the granddaddy of them all, Peoria meets the Peoria Notre Dame Richard Spring, which is actually going to be even a bigger spectacular than what you saw this past weekend in terms of it's just one race, so it's not a classification race. So you're going to have most of the best teams in the state running one race. So, but back to what you were saying, I believe we're going to see the makings of a great season here in Illinois. We'll know more as we get closer to the postseason how good the season really is, and obviously when we get to the NXN Midwest region, I know the only two teams make it out automatically. I'm gonna say this, Corey, for the record. I know Carmel, Indiana's a good team. They're back. It looks like they may be back where they usually are, but if they don't run their best race come November, 12th or 13th, we could see the top two teams and maybe in that large all come from Illinois.
Well, let's speak about Naperville North on the girls' side. They are your number 1 3A girls team in Illinois. They are number 16 right now in the Flow 50 rankings, but they had a great 2-week stretch where they beat Edina and Johnston at the Pleasant Valley meet, and they came back and ran another meet recently, first to the finish, and won that as well. Naperville North, coached by Dan Iverson, has a great run so far. They're traditionally good too. So, what do you expect of that team this year as well?
All right, let's give Coach Dan Iverson some props. He's probably the best. Him and Paul Vanderstein from Naperville Valley on the boys' side, both from Naperville, by the way. He's probably the best coach in Illinois, boys or girls. Coach Iverson's team is probably a little bit underrated, man. Come on, Corey. Come on, you guys.
Hey, we got them on the national rankings.
Yeah. It's 16th, which is all right. They'll take it. They're a very good team. They went to Pleasant Valley, Iowa 2 weeks ago. They actually won pretty solidly. This past weekend at Peoria, they had a couple girls had taken the ACT. It was kind of like an ACT college testing weekend. So some teams were shorthanded, but Naperville North Huskies, they had a couple of their girls out of the top 7 that had to take the exam, but they still were able to roll over Yorkville, who by the way is a very good team who just moved up to 3A, I think 2 years ago, and they had won 5 state championships in the second division, and they have, this is probably, I was talking to the Yorkville coach Corey, he said that this may be his best team ever, and for Naperville North to beat them pretty solidly without 2 of their top 7. That says a lot. And they now have a front runner in Schmidt, is her last name. She finished second to Anya Van Michelin. I think she ran like a 16:50 for 3 miles, which is very good for a team that prides himself on as a pack running team, and for her to run that fast. is something that Naperville North girls are going to need when they get to the postseason and beyond. They're going to need a low stick, and it looks like Naperville North has the makings of. I tell you this, they're going to be better than 10th place last year at Phoenix, and they're a better team than last year, even though they lost two of their top girls out of the top five.
Do you think anything's going to surprise us as the season unfolds in Illinois? We've learned a lot already. Their hand has been played. The state has played the hand pretty well, but do you think we're going to be surprised or see anything kind of new coming out of Illinois in the next few weeks?
Oh, boys or girls?
Boys or girls, yes.
Let's go back to the boys real quick. Downers Grove North. They're not a surprise because I thought we had them inside the top 5 preseason. And I know their number 1 guy and their number 3 guy didn't run this past weekend because of testing. And they were able to win at Peoria FTTF. But I think Downers Grove North is going to be a monster team this year. I think it's not going to surprise us here in Illinois, but I think it will surprise some pundits nationally, including some of our own pundits that we have on the team. I think they're going to be an extremely well-rounded team. Downers Grove North and Naquan Valley. Naquan Valley may be a surprise, Corey. Right now they're ranked number 2 in Illinois. I can't quite remember what they're ranked nationally, but they run this weekend in Peoria, so we'll get a chance to see how good they do against York. So York and Naquan Valley are the 2 teams on the boys' side. The second team on the girls' side, right now I really don't see another team really being that's going to surprise us outside of Illinois. Not that it's weak, it's just I just don't know at this moment in time that we're going to see somebody outside of Naperville North is really going to be. Check back with me in 3 weeks or so, and I can probably give you a better answer on the girls.
All right.
Team 1.
Tony, you're killing it in Illinois. Thank you so much for being on our show. We will talk to you soon, okay? Take care.
All right, you guys take care.
All right, well, that was an interview with Tony Jones, our Illinois webmaster, breaking down the state and the phenomenal performances that some of our athletes and teams have displayed there so far. So thank you for watching. This has been MileSplit Live.